Chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out.
One of the best movies of the century.
Yeah.
Streaming now exclusively on Peacock. Nominated for 13 Academy Awards. I don't know if we can be trusted with such a weapon. But we have no choice. Including Best Picture and Best Director Christopher Nolan. Are we saying there's a chance that when we push that
A
button,
top hat.
we destroy the world?
That was it.
Fired a starting gun.
Nah, I would, but Jordan's a loser. He deleted it.
What happened?
She asked me, was I playing zombies with you? And I was like, nah, because Jordan's a loser and he deleted it.
Yeah, I don't have it no more. Sorry.
What the hell? Just you worried about the wrong thing right now.
It's just an extraordinary looking ordinary key.
MLB players do some crazy things to cheat, from ringing their bats with secret technology to hiding earpieces in their helmets.
What
These
is
are the
what?
craziest cheating moments in baseball. And first, pay attention to this pitcher, because he cheated by throwing a
It's
spitball.
called the Beast.
And lucky for him, the umpires didn't see it during the game, so
It's a
he
little
ended up
thing
getting
you
away
go
with it.
into.
But not everyone is as lucky, because after getting thrown out of the game for arguing with
Indeed.
an umpire, the Mets manager pretended like he was leaving the field, only to come back to the dugout wearing a disguise so he could keep coaching his team. And while the team thought it was hilarious, the league wasn't laughing, because they ended up suspending him for 2 games, fining him $5 grand. Well, that's one expensive joke. But in baseball, it's not always obvious who's cheating, because in the top of the 9th inning, Dodgers had a man at bat with a chance to take the lead. And all of a sudden, a Mets fan shined a laser right in the batter's eye.
Muncy pointing at something that he feels like something is in his eye, whether it's a fan or the lights. See that green light?
Like a laser pointer.
Laser pointer coming across.
Yep.
Come on.
There's no call for that.
Jeez.
I don't see how he
Could've
hit
been
that
blind.
healthy.
And the worst part is, the fan who shined the laser was never caught, ended up getting away with it. But Alex Rodriguez did it, because this man cheated by slapping the ball out of another player's glove.
Arroyo.
I don't even know what that one is.
He should be out, yeah. Because that is clearly, as Arroyo puts the ball in the glove, the left arm came down. No.
And he thought it was clever, but A-Rod found out shortly that a base runner slapping the ball or making contact with it in any way is not allowed. So the umpires ended up reversing the call, calling him out. Well, look, they were calling foul on this next play, because this third baseman got down on his hands and knees and violated the rule book.
Fastball tapped at the plate. It'll trickle down the third baseline. The Mariners are going to let it roll. Lenny Randall gets down on his hands and knees and blows on it like a curler, and it goes foul. Randall puts on quite a show, and here comes Jim Fryout, and he's going to protest with home plate umpire Larry McCoy that Randall cannot get down and influence the direction of the baseball.
Man, you never catch who's blowing out some balls. But George Brett wasn't cheating with his balls, because he was cheating with his bat. See, in 1983, Royals outfielder George was at the plate. He took a huge swing, knocking the ball right out of the park. Seemed like he'd just given his team the lead fair and square, until the Yankees demanded the umpire check his bat. And after an inspection, they discovered that George's bat was completely covered in pine tar, and the umpires were really disgusted. So they not only took the home run away, but they also changed the call to an out, sending George into a...
forcibly restrained from hitting plate umpire Tim McClellan. And the Yankees have won the ball game 4-3. Brett is fouled out for using an illegal bat or with the illegal substance on the bat.
But sometimes, even the fans call out cheaters. See, before a 2021 game, a fan sitting in the front row called over Alex Bregman of the Houston Astros, pretending to be his biggest fan. And if you didn't know, the Houston Astros got exposed for cheating back in 2019. So the second Alex got close, the fan roasted him for being a cheater.
Can I get a photo? I'm getting one too. I don't want a photo, you cheater. I don't want to follow you. Go bang on a barrel, you bum.
All he could do was smirk. But this next player wasn't smiling at all, because a Dodgers player broke the rules and almost broke his knee. See, Jock Peterson thought he was being clever by leaning into a pitch to try to get on first base. And while the ball did hit him, the umpire determined he was trying to get hit on purpose. So instead of getting a free base, Peter was forced to come back to the plate and try to actually hit the ball. Yeah, my man tried taking the easy route. But Adrian Beltre took a different route because he found himself about to get tagged out with nowhere to go. So he just broke the rules and ran away.
Knocked it hard. I chop off the plate. Dominguez takes a look at Beltre. He's got him in a rundown. And he throws to Altuve. And Altuve will flip to the shortstop, Belmar. Beltre's going to wind up in Bel Air.
Yeah, you definitely can't run out of there. You must have thought they were playing tag. But the MLB's not all fun and games, though, because one player was caught cheating, and it cost him his career. See, for years, pitchers have been breaking the same rule of baseball over and over. They've been rubbing their gloves, hats, belts, and even their own skin with sticky pine tar, all to get a better grip on the ball, throw some crazy pitches. And look, the MLB allows guys to use league-approved rosin bats, but any outside substance is banned. Problem is, that hasn't stopped anyone, because pitchers have been thrown out of tons of games for gooing it up. So in 2021, MLB decided to crack down. They beefed up the rule book to try and stick it to all the cheaters. From that point forward, umpires are forced to inspect any player they deem suspicious before, after, and even during games, so they could catch him in the act. And just a week into the rule change, one guy got real messy, because as Mariners pitcher Hector Santiago was coming off the mound, the umpire got a funny feeling about his glove, so he demanded to inspect it, and this happened.
Maybe there's something that can break the baseball and get extra movement, but it would appear that something was untoward in the glove of Hector Santiago.
Yeah, they found goo on his glove and ejected him for it, giving the guy a 10-game suspension in the process. But did this man learn his lesson and stop cheating? Nope. Just 2 days after his suspension ended, Hector was given a random drug test and tested positive for steroids. This time, getting an 80-game suspension. Even worse, he hasn't played in the big leagues since. But some batters have gotten even sneakier when it comes to cheating, because for Sammy Sosa, it wasn't about what he was putting on his bats. It was about what he put inside. See, if there's one thing Sammy was known for.
I think I'm losing my mind. I need to understand what happened.
Tim.
I care not for money. It's never made me happy.
Was hitting home runs. The guy was one of the greatest power hitters of all time, and for most of his career, people thought he was doing it all legit. But in 2003, that all changed. Because during a game against the Tampa Bay Rays, Sammy took one swing and ruined his entire reputation.
3-2. Bouncing ball up the middle. A run's going to score. Anderson to throw to first in time. That'll bring home Grutzalani.
See what?
Well, this isn't looking for a few more pieces of the lumber.
No, they're looking to see what's in the bat. And they want to see if what's in the bat is really the bat, or if there's anything in there that shouldn't be in there. And Chip, the only time I've seen something in there is if the bat is corked.
Broke his bat on a ground ball and exposed something illegal inside, called a cork. This is one of the lowest ways a batter can cheat. When you cork a bat, you're cutting out its insides and replacing it with a material lighter than wood, making it easier to swing the bat without losing power. And when the umpires realized what happened, they were left with only one choice: ejecting Sammy from the game, leading to a 7-game suspension and an MLB investigation. But they tested 76 of his bats. In the end, though, only one of Sammy's bats were proven to have been corked. So maybe it was just an accident after all. But one accident in an MLB game ruin history. We've seen a lot of umpires catch players cheating, but sometimes the roles are reversed, because Armando Galarraga was just 1 out away from a perfect game. He got cheated. See, the rarest thing that can happen in baseball is a perfect game. That means a pitcher has played all 9 innings without giving up a hit, a walk, or a single base runner. Yeah, that's perfection. And your odds of getting one of these are next to impossible. I'm talking a 0.001% chance. That is once in every 34 years in the MLB. But despite these odds, 2010, Armando was just 1 out away from making history when this happened.
Ground ball, right side, Cabrera will cut it off. Galarraga covers. He's out. Oh, he's safe. He is safe at first base.
Galarraga. He missed the base. He's out. Why is he safe? He wants to reach the base. Are you kidding me? Why is he safe? See right here. Why is he safe? Oh my goodness, Jim Joyce, no!
Yeah, Armando clearly had his foot on the base first, but got cheated out of completing just the 23rd perfect game in MLB. Man, gotta get these umps some glasses, and my boy a tissue, because that was tragic. Well, look, we gotta talk about the baseball team that turned their helmets into spiky. We've seen a lot of cheating techniques in the big leagues, but college baseball players are up to some even crazier stuff. Because in 2023, the Atlantic Cape Community College devised what they thought was a genius way to get a competitive advantage. They had all their players' helmets hooked up with earpieces, so they could communicate with each other at all times. And yeah, that is illegal. And they thought they were being clever as hell, until a game against Rowan College, when one of their opponents claimed they started hearing voices coming from the Atlantic team's helmet. And, if I started hearing voices like that, you better believe I'd tell someone. So Rowan told the umpires to investigate what was going on. That's when they finally uncovered the truth. They found earpieces inside 2 players' helmets. Yeah, Atlantic Cape turned their players into secret agents, and they might have gotten off with a warning that game. But shortly after,
I can't jump up there.
responsibility for the whole thing and ended up resigning. They listened to
I just
everything
wasted a
but
whole
the
beast
rule book.
mode.
And so did Chris Correa, because what this man did to cheat was so twisted, it put him behind bars. Yeah. In 2013, Chris was the scouting director for the St. Louis Cardinals. He was looking to move up in the ranks of the organization by any means necessary. So, to try to get the best players and give his team ahead, Chris became a hacker, grabbed his laptop, and hacked the database of the team he used to work for, the Houston Astros. And this man Chris got everything. First, he downloaded the Astros scouting list, so he could see every player they were looking to draft. And then, he pulled up all their notes on trade discussions, so he knew exactly what players they should target. And finally, he even stole advanced statistics and injury reports for the entire Astros organization, gaining intel on every single player they had. Everything Houston did, St. Louis did, all thanks to Chris the hacker. But in the end, it all blew up in his face, as the FBI got tipped off and ended up arresting Chris. And he was later found guilty of hacking, landing him in prison for 46 months. Yeah, that man's not just a cheater, he's a criminal. But look, some players have made a career off of cheating, because one baseball star cheated his way to becoming the greatest player ever. This is Barry Bonds, and he was known for absolutely crushing the ball in the 90s and the early 2000s. He hit 73 home runs in 1 year, the most ever in a single season. And after a successful career of slugging, he became the #1 home run leader in MLB history.
Steals. And Bonds, play high. It's a deep.
Every culture has a name for it. We call them imaginary friends.
But there was something off about Barry, because he went from looking like a twig at 190 pounds to becoming a full-blown tank at 240. People wondered how he made this transformation, how he broke all these records, and in 2003, some of those questions were answered when a supplements company called Balco was under hot water for allegedly operating an illegal steroid distribution ring. And not only was Barry Bonds and his trainer, Greg Anderson, involved in these allegations, but in December of that year, Bonds testified upon a grand jury, stating that he took a clear substance from Anderson and didn't think it was performance enhancing. So, even though it looked like Barry was going to be clear of all charges, In 2007, after retiring from the MLB, he got exposed.
Baseball's home run king indicted on charges he lied about using steroids. Federal grand jury in San Francisco charging Barry Bonds with 4 counts of perjury and 1 count of obstruction of justice.
The U.S. Attorney's Office announced today Bonds will face numerous charges, 4 counts of perjury, lying to a grand jury that he did not knowingly use performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah, and the bad news kept coming, because in 2011, Barry was put on blast once and for all and became a felon.
The baseball star's trial over steroid use ended yesterday, and he's been found guilty of at least 1 crime that could send him to jail instead of the Hall of Fame.
Now, Bonds might have ended up without jail time, but he faced major consequences. He was sentenced to 30 days of home confinement, 2 years of probation, 250 hours of community service, a $4,000 fine, and was rejected from the Baseball Hall of Fame. Yeah, steroids might make you big, but not bigger than the rules. But there's even crazier baseball cheating moments, because these Little League coaches fooled the entire country and went to jail for it. See, in 2014, a Little League team from Washington Heights, Chicago, was taking everyone by storm. The Jackie Robinson West Little League squad, and they whooped everyone in their league, breezed through the regionals, won the U.S. bracket of the Little League World Series, and made it all the way to the championship game. But losing the trophy to South Korea was the least of their problems, because after the game, Little League Baseball got a tip that JRW might have been using ineligible players during their run to the championship. They started looking deeper, and in January 2015, they found out JRW was scheming, learning that they used a fake map to not only lie about what district their players actually came from, but also found out they were taking the best players from all over their region, and created a Little League super team. So after they found out JWR was scamming the whole world, on February 11, 2015, Little League Baseball stripped JRW of their U.S. titles, took their World Series runner-up title, and the JRW coaches were charged in court with fraud. That might be the most pathetic court case of all time, but it's still not as bad as the Houston Astros, because they cheated their way to a World Series title. In 2017, there was one team that the entire MLB
Alright, I think I'm done.
Astros, because